There are a few battles in life that never truly end. For example, Coke versus Pepsi, Marvel versus DC, pineapple on pizza versus humanity itself. And now in the tech world, we have another, MacBooks versus Windows laptops. But not just any Windows laptops, we are talking Snapdragon X Elite powered machines. And folks, Apple is getting ready to launch the M5 MacBooks. So buckle up, because this war, it is not over. In fact, it is just getting started. So let's begin with the M5 MacBooks, the shiny new weapons in Apple's ongoing war for laptop dominance. The M5 chips are expected to be faster, leaner and smarter than ever. We're talking up to 30% performance gains over the already ridiculous M4, especially in single core tasks. Apple's pushing more AI integration, better efficiency cores, and maybe, just maybe, some fancy neural engine magic that will help with all the AI editing, smart photo cleanups, and video renders. And yes, they will still be passively cooled in some models, meaning they run dead silent unless you're trying to launch a space shuttle with Final Cut Pro. As usual, you'll probably see the M5 in the new MacBook Air and Pro models. Rumor has it, the 13-inch Air might finally get phased out in favor of a slightly larger screen, while the MacBook Pro lineup is getting better battery optimization and a brighter display. Same sleek aluminum design, but with maybe one or two new colors that Apple will likely act they invented. Apple might also bring a few under the hood improvements in keyboard stability, trackpad sensitivity, and better webcam performance, because yes, people still care about looking decent on Zoom. But here is the big plot twist. While Apple keeps refining its chips, Windows laptops have been hitting the gym too. And now, we've got Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite laptops showing up ready to fight. These things are ARM based too, just like Apple's Silicon, and they're designed to go toe-to-toe with the M-series chips. Also, Snapdragon X Elite is no joke. Early benchmarks show it is competing hard in multi-core performance. It's got 12 high-performance cores and integrated AI features that are supposed to rival Apple's. And on top of that, Windows laptops powered by X Elite promise all-day battery life, instant wake, and improved thermal efficiency. We are talking real competition for the first time in years. Plus, with Microsoft optimizing Windows 11 for ARM and more app developers jumping on board, the platform might actually start to feel snappy and stable instead of like a buggy science experiment. So what is the real world difference? Now let's talk productivity. If you're editing 4K video, doing heavy multitasking, or running AI tools like Adobe's Firefly or Topaz Video Enhanced AI, both M5 and Elite will handle it well. But Apple still holds an edge in optimized software like Final Cut, Logic Pro, and even Safari runs better on Mac. The vertical integration makes everything feel smooth and cohesive. You open your Mac and it just works. No drama. Windows though, it's more flexible like a gymnast. Want to use third-party AI models? Install random tools? Run weird scripts that definitely aren't from GitHub? Go ahead. Windows absolutely could not give a crap. Mac, on the other hand, will ask for your fingerprint, your face print, your nose print, your teeth print, your password, and the blood of your firstborn. It's more locked down, which helps security and stability, but also makes tinkering a bit of a headache. And now let's move on to gaming. And let's be honest, it is still better on Windows, even with Apple pushing Metal 3 and their gaming porting toolkit. 99% of new gamers are still made with DirectX in mind. And while Apple Silicon can run some games pretty well, Windows laptops, even the ARM ones, still win here. Especially now that more titles are being optimized for the Snapdragon platform. accept smoother frame rates, wider controller support, and better modding options. Now on to upgradability, and we all know that Windows still wins. Most X Elite laptops will at least let you swap out the SSD. RAM maybe. But what about MacBooks? You better be happy with what you bought, because that is what you're stuck with and forever. There is no opening up with your MacBook and adding more storage later, and Apple makes sure of that. Everything is soldered, sealed, and protected by pentalobe screws from hell. Now let's talk about AI. Apple is trying to be subtle, on-device intelligence that helps you write, summarize, and says better. Windows is like, boom! Copilot built into your taskbar, integrated into every single app, and even controlling your system settings. It's a bit more chaotic, but also more powerful in some ways. You want AI to generate code in Visual Studio, write emails, or even organize your files? Copilot's your best friend. On Mac, Apple Intelligence will keep things lightweight, fast, and safe, but maybe not as customizable or expansive. With thermals and battery life, M5 MacBooks will still probably lead here. Apple's control over the whole stack, hardware, software, silicon, means they can stretch battery life like nobody else. Expect 18 plus hours of battery for light use on the air, and a solid 12 to 14 hours even on the Pro under heavier loads. Snapdragon is getting close though, and some early Windows on ARM laptops are now hitting 20 plus hours of battery in light use, which is crazy good. But let's see how they perform under actual pressure, video calls, AI renders, and big multitasking jobs. Ecosystem is where Apple flexes. iPhone plus Mac plus iPad is seamless experience. AirDrop, handoff, universal clipboard, it all just works. You take a picture on your phone and it's on your Mac in seconds. Need to copy a link on your iPad and then paste it on your MacBook? Done. It just feels like magic. Windows is catching up with features like Phone Link and Cloud Sync. But let's be real, it's still not as tight. You still need third-party apps and patience. Now pricing. And this is where things get real spicy. Snapdragon X Elite laptops are expected to start around nearly $1,000, maybe lower if OEMs get competitive. But the M5 MacBooks, expect $1,099 and up for Air, and more than $1,700 plus for Pro. And don't even think about storage upgrades unless you want to sell a kidney. Apple's pricing is still Apple's pricing. $200 for a bump in RAM, $400 for more storage. Welcome to the Apple tax. And future-proofing? M5 will get 5 to 6 years of macOS updates, and it's guaranteed. That is the Apple thing. You can buy a MacBook and feel confident it'll be usable for half a decade. But what about Windows laptops? It depends. Qualcomm promises a strong support roadmap this time, but we have heard that story before. If OEMs drop the ball, you might find your fancy new Snapdragon laptop unsupported after 3 years. And let's not forget about the ports. MacBook Air has 2 USB-C ports. USB-C ports. I can't really say it. And that's it. You want HDMI, SD card reader? Go Pro. Or buy a dongle. Windows laptops still offer more variety. Need Ethernet, HDMI, and USB-C-A? There is probably a model that has it. For creatives, that extra flexibility can make a big difference. So who really wins? Honestly, nobody. And that is the best part, because now, both Apple and Windows fans have legit choices. You want clean design, quiet power, and crazy battery? Go for Mac. You want flexibility, gaming, and lower price points? Windows X Elite has your back. There's never been a better time to be in the market for a new laptop. And if you're somebody who just wants a good laptop without a side-up tribal warfare, well, good luck navigating Reddit. Anyway, this war is far from over. M5 versus Snapdragon X Elite is only the beginning. Things are really heating up, and whether you're Team Mac or Team Windows, you're finally getting real competition. The gap is closing, the options are expanding, and no matter what side you're on, the future is looking fast, fanless, and full of AI. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.